and welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we dig deep into eras and albums and all things R&B music with people in the music industry or that write about the music industry. And I am naturally Elise, and that is my bro,
JR.
And we are the R&B Representers. And today we are welcoming back one of our favorite people, personally and on the show.
Yeah.
Mark. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Elise.
Hey. This is gonna be a very, very fun show.
Can I get a second take? Okay. Okay.
But yes, Mark is a, music lover, nerd, writer. I don't know if he self-describes as historian, but I feel that he's a historian and just all around. Huh?
So I could revise it.
Oh, how would you revise it?
Well, I'm gonna make me look really good, and y'all be there. So.
Oh, what ethnomusicologist, whatever.
There you go.
He a historian, and he be writing this stuff. But yeah,
I do be writing.
Yeah, but he's just super knowledgeable dude, just and very insightful, introspective. So I will always love talking about music with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm a nice person. Say it, Elise. Say I'm a nice person. Oh, now you quiet. I ain't never been able to get you quiet in my life.
Well, that's one way to do it. But yes, if you haven't been able to tell by the records and the shirts what we're gonna be talking about today, then you just no. But look, but JR, tell them what we're talking about today and why we want to talk about it.
Oh, this is this is probably gonna be my favorite episode. No disrespect to anybody that has done it. We will be talking about Janet Jackson's The Velvet Rope. I'm so hyped because this is a top 5 album for me ever. And I said, if anybody I want to talk about this with, it would be Mark. So I was like, sis, let's hit Mark and ask him if he want to talk about this. She was like, I guess.
See, that's not even true because I was the one that said
she actually was.
If we're going to talk about Velvet Rope, let's talk about it with Mark. Like
she was actually being nice. She was nice for a change for you, Mark. She was nice. But so we was like, we definitely wanted to talk about Mark. So we definitely gonna get into everything Velvet Rope, all that good stuff, and we gonna make sure everything is right, Jimmy. And we gonna do this. So all right, so Mark, when you first of all, when you knew that she was doing this project, what did you think? Where was your mind at? What would you?
Okay, so this album is about to be 25 years old this year. I graduated high school 25 years ago. All right. So like it's been a minute. My ass is old, but it's okay. It's fine. Like it's a side effect of not dying. So so I've been a crazy Janet fan since Control, and my friend got me the t-shirt with all the album covers on it, right? So okay.
Oh yeah, I could have worn my hoodie because I got all the album covers. Yeah.
See, yeah, I don't have enough swag, but this came perfect. It just came this week. So like,
oh my god.
Oh my god. Right. So I was already a crazy Janet fan when Control and Rhythm Nation, everything came out. So when I heard there was gonna be like a Velvet Rope album, like we didn't know what the title was gonna be. Like I was on message boards on the internet when you still had that kind of thing on AOL or whatever.
Yes.
And people like talking about like, oh, this is what the album title is gonna be, and it wasn't that album title, but like all the excitement about it was like totally showing up. And something interesting that I want to talk about later that I heard out of there. But I could not wait to hear it. And then I think Got Till It's Gone leaked on the Beat in LA, the radio station. And I probably wore that song out playing it over and over and over and drove my college roommates nuts I'm sorry, no, but it was amazing. So like to be there for the rollout, like rollouts are still good now, but it wasn't the same, man. Like having like videos and like billboards are like plastered in the album cover. So it was a what a time to be alive type of thing. And having her show up on every channel like MTV, H1, BET, etc. I was just so happy to be a Janet fan, and it was the first time I ever got to see her live because I wasn't outside before then.
You went to the Velvet Rope tour?
As a matter of fact, I did.
I hate you. I envy you.
I did
I made
too.
a whole ass out of myself. I think she was on stage singing Special, and I was standing on top of a chair screaming. So
I went to that tour too.
I know. That's why I hate you both.
Who was your opener, Mark?
okay. We had the choice of either Missy Elliott or Usher. That was who was in the running. And at the time, I was a huge Usher hater. I couldn't stand Usher. And we got Usher.
Oh, I had Usher too. I was a huge Usher fan though. So
I so wanted Missy so bad. And I didn't see her until like 2017, but it was worth it then. She was amazing. Anyway.
I got to see that tour.
But yeah, Usher did the whole like Bobby Brown tribute and everything. Girls went nuts. I was like, and now I'm just kind of like, please use your real voice, please sing. So I'm like, I'm crying for some Usher. It's amazing how the tables turn, but
right. Y'all lucky because I tried to beg my mom to go to that concert. I was only 12. I was 12.
Did she hear your coochie gonna swell up and fall apart and say, no, you ain't going?
No, it wasn't that. My mother wanted because we was in New York, so she wanted to take me to the garden. But them tickets are expensive. So my mother was like, I don't think so. And then also, she also listened to the album too, which we're gonna get into. And she was like, 12 years old, but then she let me go to the All For You, which was a little worse.
I mean, would you mind tied up on the stage?
Exactly.
I mean, if I'd have got... Anyway, I'm back. Good.
So when you got it in your hands, when you got the Velvet Rope in your hands...
Please, don't you judge me with that face.
Oh, she's judging. Oh, she's judging.
Oh, that's another one. Wow, these are new. I haven't been judged in this specific way before.
I'm an innovator.
Clearly.
I'm so proud of you. I'm sorry. I feel like every answer takes me off track. What did you say, Gio?
Oh, no, that's fine. But no, so all right, so after the rollout, because the rollout was serious, like it was like you were seeing pictures all over the place. It was like, I remember when MTV, maybe like a week before the Got to Gone video, you saw the black outfit she had on, like the black, and then you saw her nipple ring that she had, and that was plastered. It was like, then she did the Video Music Awards when she was wearing the red hair, and it was like, then she talked about the album, and she was like, this is the most into, what did she say, into, I forgot what word did she use?
Perspective.
Maybe that
all
was
those things.
Yeah, all those eyes, whatever. But she, so she said all that. So I was like hyped because I've been a fan of her since Control too. So it was like, okay, I'm waiting for this. And she was like, y'all, I really get deep on this album when she was talking to John Norris because she don't talk to Kurt Loder because he's a Madonna lover and he hates on Janet so bad. So she's not a big fan of him at all. And I wouldn't be either because he throws shade, but whatever. But yeah, she talked to him and John Norris, and they, after that, then they did the behind the scenes of the Velvet Rope tour and all that. But when she talked about, I was hyped. So when Got to This Gone came out, I was hyped. And the video was so different. It was just a whole different vibe. And I was like, this is not the Janet that we just got out of that era. But Mark, do you agree with this? I feel like the Runaway video all kind of gave us a little bit of what we were gonna get for this album, because you had the nose piercing, she had all this in the video, and I'm like, maybe she was getting us prepared for it. Or I felt like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yara, what could actually prepare you for that? Like we were
right.
not ready.
True that.
Dude, I think we are not ready could probably be the subtitle of the whole thing, because you start going through it. There was so much new territory that she covered that was like, oh wow, this is. I'm thinking like this wasn't even like the introduction of like sex positive Janet Jackson. It was. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she started to really show more of herself.
Yes.
And it's something that you always do. I mean, again, she keeps a lot of things close to the chest, and you should. Everything and everybody's business. But there's so much where I'm like, if this is just like a role that she's playing, she's committed to it. It was a great ride to be on.
Yes. I love how she just said that she said when she was on Oprah, the Oprah interview, and she was sitting there, how she said, this album is really about me. Like before then, they had me do my hair on ways that they thought was gonna sell. I'm gonna do this, but she was like, this is me. I'm being brave. I'm letting you in, and this is me. And it was just like, wow. It's just whole bravery. That's what I call this whole era to me. It was just bravery, because it was like Janet was talking about shit that nobody was talking about. Like it was just different and so innovative, and it was just like, so I made my mom like, yo, I have to get this album. I don't know. She was like, who you talking to, first of all? But like, I must get this album, please. Like, I'm begging her, especially Got Till It's Gone. And it's so crazy that y'all know that pop radio didn't touch Got Till It's Gone, which I don't get it. I still don't get that. Why they touch That's the Way Love Goes, but they didn't touch Got Till It's Gone.
I think they were still afraid of Black people, which is so odd, because she's been Black the whole time.
Time.
And really with That's the Way Love Goes, I don't feel like initially that pop accepted it and put it out there, but they ain't had no choice at all, because that song was such a juggernaut. Like they couldn't deny it.
Right.
It's weird to have that switch up, because Got Till It's Gone was like, they did that thing that I really hated at that time, where they would like push the single super, super hard and then not release a commercial single, so they would get you to buy the whole album. Like, that's cool. But I'm like, that might have meant like you had to wait another few weeks just to get your hands on a copy of it that you could play it in your car CD player, because we had those then. Not I'm old or anything, but I'm just saying that happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mark, hold that thought. My laptop came unplugged, so let me make sure.
Oh no.
Damn it, man. It's like, no, I'm kidding.
Are you recording?
It wasn't recording. That's why I waited till there was a pause.
That's dope. Are you recording?
Jimmy, you're not recording this, are you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah. Edit. So
anyway.
back to
Where was we at?
Oh, talking about what it got to It's Gone. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Got Till It's Gone. Okay, yeah, that's I don't get it. I just don't get how they didn't touch it, and then they had to throw Together Again out so fast. Cause didn't it come out like 2 weeks after?
I feel, I don't know the dates. I feel like maybe Got Till It's Gone came out in the summertime, and I was so here for it. In hindsight, I didn't make this connection, right? Like I've heard Jimmy tell the story like 1.5 million times, and I'd like go for 1,000,001. But I loved the Q-Tip remix, the Umar remix of Sometimes by the Brand New Heavies.
Yes.
And didn't get the connection between those two. So when I heard it, I was just like, oh, word? That makes sense. Totally makes sense now.
Oh.
So like I was loving Sometimes, and I loved Got Till It's Gone. So I'm like, I'm looking around like why are you not loving Got Till It's Gone? I don't understand. It didn't appeal to, like, it didn't make sense to me, like how it didn't appeal to everybody.
I just don't get it either, because I know in New York we was definitely like Hot 97 was playing it, BLS was playing it, 98.7 Kiss was playing it. Everybody was playing it, but like the Z100s where Janet is normally good on wasn't playing it.
But I don't remember it being played on the radio as much as other Janet songs. I remember the video that shit was ubiquitous. Like you couldn't escape the video, but like I don't recall them in the South playing it a whole lot on the radio.
Wow.
It got played, but not like they would normally do a Janet cut.
Which is interesting. I really wonder what it was in programmers' minds, where they're just kind of like, miss you much? Yes. That's the way love goes? Yes. Got till it's gone? I'm like, had you not heard Baduizm? Like, did you not realize where music was going? Had you not listened to D'Angelo? Did you feel like, oh, this doesn't really fit into our format? Negro, they're like a couple months ahead. You might want to get on top of this.
And I didn't understand that either, because then hip hop was starting to become commercial. So
Right.
really commercial. So I'm like, you got Q-Tip on there. I'm like, this is perfect. And then you screw it up by not playing it. So then it's like, that's what Jimmy was saying in the interview. Like, yo, we had to throw Together Again out there. And of course, pop radio touches that, and that works.
Do you think maybe it was because Janet wasn't like overtly sexual in the video, and people were expecting like If Part 2 after they'd gotten like all this like sexual energy from the previous album? And she came through like real chill, no makeup in the video with the 4 ponytails, which I thought was just like, okay, this is iconic now. So
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, it wasn't what you expected, which is the thing that I loved about it. And you know what I really wasn't ready for? Because there's also no dancing in the video, but then I eventually saw her do it, I think on Oprah or like Top of the Pops or something. We didn't have YouTube, so I know it wasn't Top of the Pops then. But when I finally saw her doing choreography to it, and it was like the kids was killing it, I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
You know, like another video, or even like a remix video. Like that was like definitely the era to have like 2 music videos for stuff, which they got it together for Together Again. But it's
I didn't get that. I was just, you know why, bro? Because again, when it comes to the Janet album, remember the label wanted her to throw out If. They didn't want Together Again. I mean, not Together Again. That's the way love goes. They was like, we want If, we want the big performance, we want I'm Back, I'm Here. And Jimmy and them was like, yo, fight for That's the Way Love Goes. Like, fight for it. It's different. It's a new sound, because like Brian Alexander Morgan, he changed it with I'm So Into You. So it was coming more of like a hip hop type of production. And That's the Way Love Goes gives you that. And they was like, let's fight for this. And then she came and then was like, y'all, I think If is going to be it. And I think that happened again when they was like, oh, fight for That's the Way Love Goes. And she did. And the label probably didn't want to rock with it. So they just was like, you know what? We'll wait for the second one. Once Together Again came, y'all saw it was all over the radio. Pop radio loved it. Everybody did.
No, pop radio liked that song. Because Together Again, no. I'm gonna tell you, Together Again, in the moment. Now, I adore the song now, but
Yeah.
in it, that was a song I ain't too much fool with.
No.
Then.
oh God.
Even then?
No, then. But now it's like a very important song to me. I love the song, but in the moment, it just, yeah.
Well, look, I'm just glad you jumped out and brought the bullet first, because I knew y'all was probably going to ask me like, Mark, what is your favorite and least favorite song? And then I was going to say Together Again. You're going to be like, oh, like you do. Anyway, the thing. Like, I don't know what it is, but Together Again is the only song that I skip. And every time, but not because of the song. I just had a bad experience.
Oh, this is my perfect album, but I'll tell you, when we get to it, I'll tell you what song.
When we get to, please believe. Oh,
okay. So look, this is what's weird, because Together Again, because I was in full-on Stan mode, like I will fight you if you say something bad about Janet Jackson in 1997. I was riding for Together Again, even though it wasn't my favorite song. But the thing that I actually loved was the Jimmy Jam Deep remix, not the deeper remix, the Deep remix. There's a difference. The one that sounded like, okay, great. I'm talking to the right people. Y'all can see.
Yes.
The one that sounded like Usher's "You Make Me Wanna," but produced by Timbaland, but with Jimmy Jam's musicality. I was like, this is what I wanted to hear in my life. So when I got the CD single, I'm like, yep, I can rock with this. But the original, I'm like, it was like, I like house music, I like pop music, but it didn't grab me in any place. And like, I hadn't like lost anybody like close to me, so I could really attach the emotion to it. So I'm like, I know, but it's like such a special song for so many people. I feel like I can't say out loud that I don't love Together Again. And like, it closes the shows and it's like, it's super rousing and everything. But I'm like, man, I was waiting out to like, what's the next thing happening? What's the next song?
The one about me.
The one. Always tweet that to Mark.
You know, I loved it, honestly, when I heard it, because again, I'm just a Janet fan. I loved the video. The video really made me love it because I wanted to learn the choreography of the video.
Oh.
And at least you know that's the truth.
I wish I could learn choreography. That is
that's the truth. So
he, like I always say, he want to make sure he's seen a video at least twice.
Yes.
He's gonna know all the steps and gonna make sure that you know he know that he know.
It's the truth. So like we lived in my grandmother's house and she had wood floors. So when they get down and they do the turn on their knees, that's why I probably got bad knees to this day because of that video. Like literally, because I'll be on wooden floors with shorts on, like doing the choreography and all that and hearing it all the time. Because I probably have to agree with y'all. When I heard it, after hearing "Got Till It's Gone" and then you hear this, it was like, wait a minute, Janet, where we going? Like, where you at with this? But then when I saw the video and I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. Okay, all right, cool. So me hearing it all the time, and then it was like after that, then the album comes out, it fit for me. So it was just because the video made me love it. And then now, like y'all said, now that I'm older and I've lost people for that, that song being about AIDS, and I lost, my brother for that, it's like it hits more now than it did. So like back then, I agree with you, Mark. Like I would listen to it after Free Zone, right? Yes, after Free Zone, and I'm wrong. What is it?
What is this space that I'm seeing oscillating in front of me?
Am I wrong? I'm the wrong title. I'm wrong, Lee.
Is it or is it? Is it after Free? I thought
you were going to say something bad about Free Zone. I was going to fly over to you.
Oh, no. Free Zone is one of my favorite things about this album.
Okay, because 97 Mark that would fight you over a Janet song was finna show up in North Carolina.
Yeah, it comes after Free Zone, but it's like that little interlude. And then
it's an interlude, right?
You have to hold on to the pain, to hold on to the memory.
Right.
Okay.
It's called Memory. Memory is the interlude. That's right.
I know people feel a way about this, but I love Janet's interludes between songs. They're like,
I do too.
God, why is there so many interludes?
And it's one of the only albums in the world that I like the interludes, because I don't like interludes.
Look,
generally speaking.
If you don't like the interlude, you can skip it. That's how CDs work in digital. Like you don't have to have the MP3 on your, like you can like uncheck it and suddenly, hey, but why am I singing Red Cup?
But if Velvet Rope wasn't the play-through album that it is, I mean, if the interludes weren't so good, think if those interludes were like mediocre, you'd have to do that shit 7 times, skip. Like that seems like a stressful listening. That's stressful.
Pick up your finger and push a button.
No, but if you in a you're not gonna do this. When you're in a certain zone of music, especially in this to the Janet album, like you want to hear it straight through. But if you had to go every time to the interlude, that wouldn't be an enjoyable thing for me to go back to.
Gotcha.
I'd be like, oh, this is good, but I'm like, that was so stressful. Because CDs is already a lot of work anyway, or any medium besides work. The computer was.
Were you not somebody who would rewind a tape with a pencil? So I know you're not going to call some CDs work. I'm sorry.
Mark, we're the same as that age by like 2 weeks. So stop it. I know.
That's why I know you was there.
We experience all those things in all those mediums, even the ones we still enjoy, the vinyl. It's a lot of work. So you want something to where you don't have to touch it. That's the things you want to listen to. Right?
I mean, I agree with you. At least, like, if the interludes wasn't great and it didn't fit, you would be pissed. You would be like, "Oh God,
pissed.
I gotta."
Just like a bunch of hip hop albums have all them damn interludes, and it made me not really revisit those albums, even though they have really, really great songs on them.
Yeah, I get it.
I know this your show, right? But I got a question for you.
This JR show, talking shit.
What's your favorite interlude on the album?
Oh.
Wait, what's her favorite interlude? You say favorite?
Favorite interlude on the Velvet Rope album?
I know mine.
I know. I would guess.
I know mine.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. So let me see if I can jog your memory right quick. There's Twisted Elegance. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love how it opens the album. Yep.
Look. Oh, this is the other thing. Again, this is gonna be like side trail after side trail. The piano motif that shows up there, the one from Special, it's in the intro too, and like that is everything to me. The fact that like it takes it back to when you had a theme in an album that would show up like from time to time. I love it so much. It makes you feel like the thing is like cinematic, but like that's in the running for me. The next one was Speakerphone.
That one I do love though.
I'm
like
pretty sure that. Oh, wait a minute, but there's competition. There's Fasten Your Seatbelts. But Blanche,
that's Tish and Tina and all them in there.
Right. I'm trying to think. I don't know who all the kids were at that time. What was the next one? Memory. Actually, I love the sentiment behind Memory. You don't have to hold the pen to hold on to the memory. There's so many people who still use that now. Like, let some stuff go. You'll still be good.
Right.
Online was just the sound of.
That's my favorite interlude.
I'm totally okay with it. This is what's weird. All right, so on the repress of Velvet Rope, Online shows up on disc 2 at the end, and Empty starts on disc 1. Why would you not start with Online?
I don't know.
They gave me Can't Be Stopped on the reissue, so I'm not going like pitch a fit. I'm just
right. I love that.
Online.
Full.
See, you already know.
Yeah.
How Empty It Means to Be Full of You, which I love. Okay, Janet made me love poetry. Like, I actually started believing this stuff. And no, what?
I was doing it on the Janet album, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had the kind of morning where, so the kind of night where morning comes too soon. I'm like, I didn't know nothing about sex, but I'm like, this sounds interesting to me. I want to know more. Please give me your pamphlet. So. What?
Oh God!
Like I don't know if they have lyrics on the interludes. What was the sad interlude before Special?
Yeah, that was sad. How'd it go? Damn, I forgot how it went.
And I just listened to this yesterday.
Sad. I'm thinking about it, freaking Empty's interlude. Thanks a lot, Mom.
Dude.
Oh, Fool.
Yes, I'm thinking about that.
Oh my God.
Oh, Fool.
We're gonna look up like lyrics to the interlude "Sad" to see if there actually is anything that she said.
I think shit. This is bad. This is one of my favorite album that I.
Oh, okay. This is what it's like. There's nothing more depressing than having
everything. Still feeling sad. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. It's a toss up for me between Online, but that's because I love Empty so much.
Yes.
Speaker. It's gonna be Speakerphone because I'm a little bit of a perv.
Obviously. You know what I wanted also, if anything? I wish he could have had an interlude to You. I wanted to, or because that is one of my favorite songs. Like when I first heard the album, that hit my soul, and I actually teared up to that record.
Okay, do you remember? Because I think Janet said like that's the song she had the hardest time recording. Because like when she was dealing with like the worst of her depression, that she couldn't record. Like she couldn't. I guess she kept crying in the middle of the takes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot what it was that she was feeling. But did you read True You?
Yes.
It always sticks in my mind. She said that she felt so ugly that she would bang her head against a wall, and I'm like, my God, I'm like, my heart was broken. I'm like, how on earth are you Janet Jackson? And you know, you're like, oh, I don't look like Rebbie. I'm like, Rebbie is beautiful. I'm like, how could you not see your own beauty? And I'm sure it's possible. Like, I mean, I've had my ugly days too. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm sure there's someone who wishes they looked like me, but I don't feel great. And so for her to be going through that and to put it in the album, that's probably what made it so real. Cause like in the middle of being like teenage and emo, this album was perfect.
Right.
All the feelings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And it was just, I think with that, and then that's why she was so mad that when people were hearing it, they thought she was talking about Michael. And it pissed her off because she was like, why? Just because I said a man in a mirror, I'm not talking about him.
Oh.
She was like, everybody was thinking, oh, I'm talking about him. She was like, what, is he the only man in a mirror? Like, no, like, are you serious? Like, no. She was like, I wanted to entitle the song Me rather than You.
Oh, interesting.
She was like, because it was about me. And you know what I'm saying? But she was like, obviously it made sense of calling it You, but she was like, I want to entitle it Me because it was about me. But that's why it made her so mad when people was listening to it. People was like, people was so pissed that it was like, they find a way to bring my brother into this again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's got to be interesting being a bona fide superstar that people keep comparing you to like somebody else. Is like, no, actually, I'm doing really well at this. You might want to go ahead and give me my props, maybe, perhaps.
That's why when she did the interview with everybody, she was like, she did not want to talk about her brother. Remember Oprah? She had to get Oprah together a quick second because Oprah and her were talking, and she was like, well, how's the kids and all that? And she was like, I didn't want to talk about my brother. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Sometimes even Oprah needs some gatheration.
Yes.
Some population.
Like,
you know,
I don't want to talk about my brother, but you're bringing it up again. Like, what are you doing? Like, but you know, Oprah good for that anyway. But we know she.
You know, I think journalists have to ask questions, and I'm really impressed at most people who are great at answering them, or sounding like they've answered them without answering them. But because there's this whole gap where you can't necessarily critically think in America, you can get away with that stuff en masse. But that's a whole separate conversation. Janet got though. She.
Oh God. Oh man. So okay. So all right. So when you listen to this album completely in full, what did you think? Like, how did you feel?
Well, okay. There's always comparison that happens, all right?
Of course.
When I was all in love with Control and I heard Rhythm Nation, I heard, oh, Escapade is like the When I Think of You of the album, or like the You Can Be Mine of the album. Like there's types of songs that show up. So there's gonna be something that's whimsical and fun that could be in the same medley with Runaway and Escapade. But this album didn't have that really. I mean, if anything, Go Deep was kind of that fun moment, but it was more like a house party, like shake your ass kind of thing. That wasn't the same thing. It was too funky to be like Escapade or like Runaway, which I think of those songs like as songs that I want to hear while I'm on a roller coaster. Like it's hands in the air, just like going at 55 miles per hour. It's so like fun and energetic and childlike. But Velvet Rope was a very grown-up album. I felt like, oh, I'm grown. I was only 18. I didn't know what I didn't know yet. But still, like you couldn't tell me that like I like whatever emotions that I could attach to them, like, oh yeah, you know, I must be feeling real things. I was not. but like it really made you feel like you were like with her in whatever this moment that she was having, like reckoning with identity and personality and depression and like all these things. It was amazing.
I know for me, when I heard, I remember the day that my mom got it. We used to always go to Domino's Pizza, not for the pizza, the wings. And I remember her, and she put it in, and I remember us getting it, and we had to wait like 45 minutes for the wings to get done. And I just remember her putting the cassette into the car, and we got all the way up to Together Again. And I just remember my mom just looking at me, and she was like, "You feeling something?" And I said, "I am." I was like, "I'm feeling." I looked at her, I was like, "Ma, I don't know what this is, but I'm connecting to this album, and I don't know why." And it was just weird with songs like You, because when you, and I'm like, I'm only 11. Like, why am I connecting to this? You know what I mean? Like, then when she obviously got to songs like Free Zone, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? To me. Like, I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like, at 11 years old, I know there's something different with me. And when I hear Free Zone, I'm like,
I'm that much older than you?
Huh?
Oh, you were 11.
11.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can handle this. I can.
That's
you just realized that part? Because you and Mark, me and you are the same age. Our birthdays are 2 weeks apart. But yeah.
But J.R., you know, you be knowing about all this grown folks music, and I be thinking, oh yeah, he's with that. He is not with that.
No, I'm not. I'm the young one out of what, everybody, right? Ain't I'm the youngest one?
Yeah, but you got the oldest soul. Well, Benjamin.
That's true.
But yeah, but when I say he's an old soul, he think I'm trying to dig at him. When I said that, you got all in your little feelings.
No, because the way we do it, like, I'll be like, y'all, I was only so and so, and Elisa be like, you see, he always want to show that he's younger than me, and we get into this back and forth.
That's not true. That's not true.
Elisa always want to show that she's younger.
I've never said that to you. I've never said that to you.
Oh my God, I'm going to pull up so many episodes, and I'm going to show you.
Okay, so this is the part where you
find it. Roll that beautiful beam footage, sir.
I absolutely will. You know,
I ain't never said nothing. I ain't never said it like that.
I see the receipts.
Really? You really gonna do this?
Absolutely.
Okay. After we turn this on, I'm gonna go find it. But anyway, and I remember that, and I remember getting to Together Again, and Together Again was already a single, so we knew it. And then when we got home, and then I heard The Other Side, that's when I felt the depression from her. Like with songs like Empty and What About, and
I Get Lonely.
And I Get Lonely, and which bugs me out because people think that is a sexy song because of the video. And I'm like, are y'all not hearing the lyrics of this song? Like, Janet feels like she's alone in a relationship, which again, I think this was the pre-divorce with her and Renee. I always say it because I always feel like it was something not right, in my opinion.
To be messy, if I may.
Yeah.
Renee has a lot of credits on these songs. Do you think he actually wrote stuff on here? I mean, I don't think he didn't, but I'm like, why is and I'm only being shady because like I ran into him once in a Janet Jackson chat room and he wasn't cool. So
do I think I think he might have been around, but do I think like he really helped lyrically with everything? Probably not. He probably was there and probably was like, oh, well, maybe this can go here and this can go here. So she gave him songwriting credit. I think, to be honest with you, it was kind of like a Mary before Mary went through this. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was like she wanted him to get as much as, you know, visibility as just not being Janet's boyfriend, well, husband. Not being, you know, so that's why she let him be a director. She let him do the tour stuff. She let him get involved with so much stuff so he can feel like I'm a part of this. That's why I feel.
when did we find out that Janet was married to Renee? We knew that
when she divorced him when she did the Nutty Professor movie. And that was in 2000, where she started doing interviews and it came out that those two got divorced.
Okay. Yeah, so I just had my doubts because Renee is on every song.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was that way on the Janet album. Like maybe it was definitely like a Can Do a Mary thing. I don't know. I know I think his brother, Judy Elizondo, like directed a lot of the videos.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I'm not saying he can't, but I'm like, well, that is always weird to me. Like I know Janet writes and like and she has the kind of, a melody that she can go into. Speaking of which, I'm making another exit.
Segue.
Yes, thank you. Did you know Desiree's Feel So High before the
Oh, did I know it? No, I didn't. I didn't know it. I didn't.
So that was the Desiree song that I loved because I think after You Gotta Be came out, like they re-released Feel So High. It was actually from her previous album, but it wasn't released in America. So like it came here, I'm like, oh, this is I thought it was a second single. I didn't realize it was a re-release joint from overseas.
Right.
I love that song. But I did not make any connection between the similarities. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like with that chord structure, it's the melody that fits the closest. So if Janet was just going with what actually fits the track, yeah, that's kind of how you get that. But like anybody who's done that same kind of chord turnaround, like it showed up in a whole bunch of things. But I'm like, I can't be mad at her for like getting the bag, but I'm like, that's odd. I don't know how that works out.
I'm really confused on when it goes with, about like these song structures and things like that on how that works. Because when this whole thing came out, I was like, huh? And then when I went back and listened to it, I was like, okay, I get it. I was like, I get it. I was like, all right.
I don't think I caught it because it's the verses of Got Till It's Gone that sound like the chorus of Feel So High.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I don't know like where my mind was, but like I didn't. But also, I'm the kid that didn't really pick up on the Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again sample in Rhythm Nation until it was embarrassingly late. And how did you hear that? How?
Wow, really?
Why did I give Elise that? Can we edit that? Can I take this? Are you?
I'm the editor, sir.
Oh God.
Do with that what you will.
Oh man. Oh God, I'm loving this conversation because it's like nobody talks about when it gets to Got Till It's Gone, nobody talks about, brings up the Desiree. I don't think people want to.
I love both of those songs, like literally love. And I don't know how I didn't, as much as I repeated Got Till It's Gone over and over again, I didn't start singing, cause I feel so high. I went, nope. Didn't even.
Because it's the fan in you that loved Janet so much, it didn't click. That's what it was. Now I don't know how you ain't here for Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself with Rhythm Nation now.
Well, you know what I did hear? Oh, wait a minute. No, this is off tap. Dang it. I feel like Jimmy Jam lied to me.
Why?
I swear I hear a sample of Remember the Time in Runaway. And he said there isn't. And I'm like, I feel gaslit. I feel gaslit and psychologically fucked with. And I want to get a lawyer because I just not fair and it's not right. Like, you tell me who else is going to give a in a song and you don't recognize it. But if that had switched, do you think Michael would have sounded good on Runaway?
No.
The way it's done, I don't see it.
And I don't hear Scream getting as much love as it should, but like I love that song. And I'm sorry, Velvet Rope. I'm trying to stay focused.
No. I mean, it's really a segue into that. I mean, from Designer Decade to that, because that's why I always say I felt like that era was getting us prepared for what was to come. I always say that.
TV. I was disgusted.
Oh my God. I can't believe what I saw on the TV this evening.
I was disgusted by all the injustice.
All the injustice.
Oh God.
Okay, so this is the part where Junior comes in and does the choreography, because that's not my department. Like, I dance in my heart, but I just 8 counts was not my thing. However, if it was, I would have ate up some free zone. Oh my God.
I love that.
First of all, I was
because it's the mash of this old school with the sample, and then it's like a groove, and then it's jazzy, and then it's back to hip hop. It's just dope.
Yes. Because you got Tighten Up by Archer and the Drells.
now
Then
make
you
it
got
mellow.
Think.
And
Yeah.
listen though, I also didn't know until I heard Think that it's in All Right. It's in so many things.
Mhm.
I'm like, you can use Papa Don't Take No Mess a million times, and Jimmy and Terry have, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And think about it on every song, and I don't care. It's fine though, because like I just listened to like Pete Rock and CL Smooth's first album, and they used Long Red by Mountain like on every track pretty much. So I'm like, okay, well, fine. That's off. I mean, Think About It can be in every song. What was the other thing? Tighten Up by Archie Bell and the Drells. There was something up. Wait a minute. I have credits. We can find out. I just loved the combination, and the beat was hitting so hard. H-O-O-R-D.
Oh my God. It hits you. Like, it really hits you when you hear it. You know what I mean? And then when it comes with the chorus, now making mellow.
Okay, so there's a song called Joyous by Pleasure that I don't even think I've even looked up.
I have not even heard it. I haven't heard it.
Forgive me, I don't know if the audio will show through on here, but I'm curious about which part is sampled.
Which part did they sample with it?
Yup. And of course, Living by Who Sampled, a whole bunch of the songs I actually put on there, but let's see, what is this? It's maybe it's the horns. Let's see. Okay.
The horns. I should have known that, right, Elise?
Oh. Wait a minute. I thought that was all Janet.
I thought that was her too.
I didn't know that.
Oh no!
Oh,
I gotta tell my mother about this. She's on this record too.
Well, I thought she was giving you like that jazz scat like we were getting on Funky Big Band. I'm like,
yeah.
And it kind of sounds like her stack, but she probably sang over it. Did she sing? We need to have like a genie bottle where we can like rub it and Jimmy pops out and answers the question. Does Janet sing on top of that? Anyway.
Wow, I don't know. Oh.
And then it's like right in her. Hold on a second. Now I want to hear hers again. Does it sound terrible? I don't know.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was distorting, but okay, yeah, I just learned something. I love it.
I did too, because I swear to God, I thought that was her. Like,
I knew there was a gang of samples on there. Speaking of which, how does anybody make money with all those samples?
Everybody ain't Janet. Think of what her tours do.
You know, you got a point. Yeah.
Till this day. Till this day.
Well, honestly, I mean, it would be to like anybody's credit to get sampled on the Janet Jackson album, because you know, even if you have like a percentage of a percentage, you're gonna have like millions of sales.
Right. That's what, like, so I know when, you know, speaking of the samples, I know when I heard the Crisco Kid on You.
It's Cisco Kid.
Cisco Kid. Did I say Crisco?
You did. I was just gonna see where you was going with it.
Why did you make that sample fat? I need to understand.
It's real slick.
What is this unsaturated sample?
Did I say Crisco? Oh my God, y'all, this is bad. Anyway, I knew when I heard it, I was like, this is different. This is different. It's a different Janet I'm hearing. Like, this is not the same. It had depth to it. Like I love how Elise always says with like the neo soul albums or whatever, it has like a gravy to it, like a thickness to it. And this album is very thick to me.
Yeah, they're substantial,
like,
you know. Ain't no flimsy jacket, it's a whole coat.
Yeah, because it's not
with the fur.
Because the Janet album, it's cool. You stupid. You stupid. Like the Janet album,
I'm sorry.
You stupid. The Janet album, it's cool. And don't get me wrong, but I feel like this album, The Velvet Rope, has so much depth and so much thickness to it. And that's why it's like, it brings you in to me. That's for me.
Except for a couple songs.
What? Oh, you know what? Okay. Because she want to go there. She wants to go there. She wants to go there. So, Elise, what songs you don't like?
Oh.
I'm not gonna say don't like, because I like every song on this album, but ones that are real close to the line of me not liking.
Yeah.
Like real close.
I only got one.
It's two of them, and they right next to each other too. Every Time and Tonight's the Night.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Why would you do this to me?
Really? Oh.
They're so thin.
They're anything but thin.
Compared to the rest of the
album. Oh my God. That first of all, anything that Jimmy plays key bass on is thick and soupy. I love it. I can't believe you said this is payback for Any Old Sunday. No.
And Jimmy gonna get me because every time I say something, he be like, well, you know, I guess it's subjective, but
yeah, that's what he said.
He said, but it's not my least favorite.
I mean, I would wonder what Jimmy's least favorite is on this album, because when you like work on all the songs, like which one, like, are you like, oh, like there's probably something where like you hear it and you think, oh, like that could have been better. I'm like, how could it have possibly been better? But you know, exactly.
I mean, Tonight's the Night, that is fine. But the one that's on the line of me almost not liking it is Every Time, though.
Yeah, I agree.
That's really the one. Yeah.
Okay. No.
And then it coming after
what? It comes after What About?
And it comes after What About? And I love that song so much. And so it just goes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be treating you pretty bad for the next 15 minutes, and it's gonna be because of this, specifically this.
But I get it, Elise. Tonight's the Night. She messed me up with that one. I don't know how she don't like that one.
I don't love it. But Every Time, I almost don't like it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's real. It real shit.
Explain to me what Every Time is doing for you.
Like Elise said, it's the track listing with me. And after you come about What About, right? And that's like that rock hitting you. And then it's
do you hate pop music? Is that what it is?
Huh?
Do you hate pop music? Because again, like I get if you can't get into Together Again. Right. It's a different kind of song. It's supposed to like move on a dance floor. You know, it's not supposed to be at your house party. That is not the thing that like, but like I love Every Time, but for terrible reasons. And I don't listen to it for the same reasons that I love it. So
and the only reason why I rock with Every Time is because of the single that's on it, on the maxi single, which is Accept Me. That's the only reason.
I'm thinking Accept Me did not make the cut because she didn't finish the lyric, which is why we got the thing. Yeah. And because it has the same beat as Tonight's the Night, which
you told me that, Mark. You told me that. I remember because I was like, why didn't Accept Me make it on the album? And you was like, it sounds a lot like Tonight's the Night. And I said, well, let me listen to it. And I said, it makes sense. If you had to pick between the two, you would pick that after she already got Free Zone on there. So you gotta just pick that.
This is what I don't understand. At least if you're gonna throw something under the bus, why didn't you pick God's Stepchild? It's right there in the name. Go ahead. You ain't got to like me.
Why
That's
do you say
everything.
things like it all ever?
I actually like God's Stepchild too.
And I know it was only on the Japanese version, but like
They put that on Down the Delta too.
Yeah, which I should probably grab it that way because I don't have a Japanese version of. I don't know why it didn't end up on the re-release.
I don't know why either. And to be honest with you, I might. Maybe we need to ask Jimmy. Well, he can answer it when he sees this. Maybe was that maybe the first song that she was doing for the album? Because it feels that way. It feels because Janet talks about this album being her being in depression and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking was maybe Special and God's Stepchild was one of maybe the first songs that she was doing.
Well, honestly, I guess now that you put it that way, packing all the songs in there would probably make it seem way too long an album. Like it's a full experience as it is.
Yeah.
And like I actually loved having B-sides to find, like Accept Me. I didn't find that song until probably the last 10 years or so.
Me too.
But like during the Janet era, like my favorite song on that album is not on the album because it's One More Chance. Like,
thank you, Mark. Oh, I love it. Oh.
So, all right, again, like we're here to talk about Velvet Rope, but
Velvet Rope, yeah,
because you're here, right?
Yeah.
The rim shot that they use on One More Chance, like if I could buy that as an NFT, I probably would. So like now that they have these things that can like strip away the vocals from songs, I made a version of it that's instrumental just to listen to because I love the song so much. And like
it's hauntingly beautiful to me. Like,
so this is the thing about that song. The chord voicings that Jimmy does are very specific to him. It's his style of playing, but like I respond to that, which is why I think it was definitely like Big Jim doing the keys on I Get Lonely, because that's very church. It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's I mean, from first second of it.
Like exactly. But those chords.
Right?
I'm not saying that like Jimmy can't do that, but that's not the type of thing that Jimmy tends to do. That's like, right. Okay, when you having to play behind altar call, that's what that is. This is very much those chords.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I love that Big Jim brought those in. But there's something that Jimmy does. Like I haven't actually sat down and tried to pull out those kinds of chords, but I should on Empty, because there are, okay, so like musician talk or whatever, like the basic chords have like 3 keys, and it's gonna be like a general triad. So you might add a 7th, you might add a 9th. I feel like in Empty, there's like 11ths and 13ths and overtones and things where I'm just kind of like, I feel like that song makes my imagination just like light up. And the way it's balanced with Janet's vocals later in the background, like, and I my God, stop laughing at me, Elise.
I'm laughing at JR.
She's laughing at me. She's laughing.
Why are you
laughing at your brother?
Laughing at me too. No, I'm so, but, sorry. The geeking is going to happen just because like there's so much of that. Like I wish Empty was a single just so I could like hope that there was an instrumental or an acapella somewhere out there.
I know.
The way those vocals were layered, like I want to pick them apart. Like, and for the love of God, there has been like multi-tracks some of these songs that leaked. I so hope that one shows up, but I know like even if it does, like there's a lot of times they bounced down. I'm sorry, I'm using that terminology. They would take like the 3 tracks that are like recorded together, and then they would like, turn them into one. So you can't actually separate them and hear what Janet sung separately. When Janet says that like, oh, I trust you, Jimmy, and she'll just like sing whatever he tells her to sing, which is basically like a whole chord. I'm like, I love this stuff. Yeah. I've always been fascinated by specifically Empty. And then I also wonder like what inspired that, because like where do you pull a song like that from? Like how did you start it? And like it's just, anyway, I can't say enough about that drum. I love drum and bass also. And it was just like, this is drum and bass done by Jimmy and Terry on a Janet record, and it sounds like this. I don't even care that it wasn't a single. It was my single.
Mine
Number one
too.
in my house. So did you realize how I went through the roof when I went to the Metamorphosis tour and she opened with that? It wasn't even in the Velvet Rope tour.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I wanted her to do it for All For You, to be honest. When I went to that tour, I was like, I hope Empty is in the set list. Like, and my mother was like, you crazy? I'm like, no. Like, no, it's not gonna be in. I'm like, maybe. I'm like, the internet is popping right now. Maybe Janet will do something with it. Like, yo, I swear, like, that song to me, like you said, Mark, it's like it'll take your imagination somewhere, and you're somewhere with it. And I just, like, when I heard that song for not the first time, it was probably like the second time, and we were going through the Holland Tunnel in New York, and all those lights are hitting, and you're driving, and it's hitting you, and you're like, and I'm just spaced out. I'm spaced out. Like, because after, Together Again and go, then she, do her little interlude. Janet got to come with her interlude, and then and I'm like looking at the lights, and then my mom and my uncle is in the back, and we're going through the Holland Tunnel. And my mom is looking at me like, hell wrong with him? And I'm like, because I'm like, I'm somewhere. Like, the song is taking me somewhere. The music, like the instrumentation is taking me somewhere. Like, everything about this record just was like, and it was like, I don't want to come out of this tunnel. Let traffic get in here, something. So we ain't got to move. So it's like the lights are shining in, but we eventually, of course, had to get out of it.
I'm getting judgy faces from Elise, and I'm going to require you to fix your face.
No, she's not judging. Oh, no, she's loving this. Like, no.
I don't feel the love, Elise.
She was judging
the love. I need to see it.
But I need Mark to stop coming for me when I don't send for him.
Baby, I'm free. You ain't even got to fix this. This is all for you.
But he hard-headed. Hard-headed.
Like Elise loves when I gets like extra hyper, and that's why she just does this and be like, he's so hyped because I already see a caption that's gonna happen. And
I mean, this right here.
Don't you purport to know how I will edit this video?
Oh,
sir?
you right. Oh, you right.
I purport to know that you will edit it shadily. Watch me be right.
Could be not.
Could be not. Oh God. But yeah, so that, and and I just, people, again, I think with that, and I get lonely, like y'all was saying, it has those church chords, but it was like, when you listen to it, I was like, damn, my girl is depressed. Like, she's.
But I loved her for putting out that black ass song, though.
Black, baby.
Okay, it was a black ass song. Tell me how you felt about the remix.
Now I don't care for it, but in the moment, I was hype about it.
You want the truth?
Because of.
Tell me the truth. I can handle the truth.
No, I don't love it now, but I did then. Actually,
I didn't like it
a lot, and that's the main one they played on the radio, was the remix on the black radio. That is.
I loved it then because, like, I was as huge a Timbaland fan. Like, there's something about whichever frequencies that his beats occupy that, like, it just works for me. So, like, having Tim on a Janet Jackson song with Teddy Riley, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And then, like, Blackstreet singing that, like, turning it into a duet. I love that idea. But I think that's Chauncey singing lead.
And he's straining
so hard.
Bad.
Like, so it's giving me like the passion you would get from like a Cisco song, but I think he's just if I recall, like a little bit sharp the whole time. It's like the same thing he does on Don't Leave Me, and that's my joint, right? But I have to, like, like they say, like when you get married, you close one eye. I had to close one ear on that song because it's not right. It's not like it's my jam, but like I.
Yeah, I like the bend, but now I listen to it and it's grating almost.
I agree.
Well, what's odd is
it's just a lot going on.
It is, and I like what's happening. I don't like how it's happening. It really is just that vocal performance. Like I think if Dave Hollister was doing it, it would have been like, okay, maybe it would have gone under the radar, but we'd be like appreciating it more as the years go by.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Or
yeah.
even if
Ocean
Mark
was
Middleton
there.
would have did it.
Huh?
Or Mark Middleton. Because that's who they were with doing, because Dave was already gone. So
And I don't know what changes they were going through. Like I mean, I know Blackstreet was like having trouble.
yeah. So by
Yeah.
the time, because they were on their next level kind of era. So it was,
Mhm.
you know, Eric and Chauncey and Teddy and Mark. And I feel like Mark should have been the one that sung on this. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of Chauncey's voice. So when I heard it, and I said, oh, okay. And I heard, you know, Teddy doing his whatever on it. And then I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh no. I'm like, this is just like how I feel when him and Coke, when he did Tonight's the Night. And they did the remix, him and SWV. And Coco got Chauncey for filth on that record. Like,
all Coco do? She's a serial killer. She is.
yeah, like she killed them. And I'm like, why didn't y'all let David sing? Like, why didn't you just give it to David? Like, then David was in the group. David and Coco could have went at each other. But I'm like, you put Chauncey
That'd have been gorgeous.
together.
That would have been gorgeous. Them two together, that'd have been gorgeous.
Which the funny thing is, like, I actually like Chauncey's voice. I just don't like how he was using it. Like, or the fact that he wasn't able to control it the way I wanted in that moment.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna act like I wasn't like really into it back then, because I definitely had the maxi single and was like repeating that joint. But my ear was not refined like through the mid 90s. And so like there's a whole bunch of stuff that I heard that was like, okay, like it was close enough. For the record, I tell everybody autotune was invented in 1997. So don't trust anything that happened after then. They might have tuned vocals. I don't know. There's plenty of people who were just kind of like, nope, that's definitely natural. There was no auto-tune happening there. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we forgave a lot of stuff happening in like 90s R&B for the sake of getting that emotion, that feeling.
Right.
Chauncey was giving me that performance, but I'm like, it's the kind of thing that I would have wanted for the remix. But I'm like, it was probably too close to us actually hearing other people like do auto vocals that were like tuned, or people who had better pitch control, and they were killing these things. Like we got people like Joe who can just sing that way. You know, and it's not really like an issue. I don't want to like shame necessarily, because there's plenty of people who are like not perfect, and I love their music still. You know, Sade, not perfect, but like you can't duplicate her. People keep saying like fill in the blank is the next Sade. There isn't another one. You're gonna have to like deal with what you got already, because like there's no replacing her.
One of one. Yeah.
It isn't everything, but it's like it was so close to being perfect, and then it was like, why?
You know what song I didn't talk about? It was my first favorite song on the album when I first heard it, was My Need.
Because of what?
Because of course, the Marvin Tammy sample, of course.
Hey.
Of course. And also
Wait a minute. It was more the Marvin Tammy sample than Love Hangover?
Love Hangover is in there too.
I was here for Love Hangover.
Yeah, I was, and that's what I was here, but I was in for me, it was like when I heard Marvin and Tammy, I was like, oh, that's Marvin and Tammy. I said, okay, cool. And then my mom actually was like, you know, that's Love Hangover too. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
But you know, because it wasn't over a 4 on the floor beat, it was like a nice kind of flip of it. I'm like, well, that was 1997, so we didn't get the first night until the next year. But
right. Right.
So like, I don't think people were used to hearing that, but like, it was the same thing. But like that whole song like makes like involuntary body rolls happen every time.
It does.
Yeah.
It's the bass line. And it's like, this is like, I love when you're like, I don't want to dance to this, but
yeah.
God.
Yeah. No. Especially after her interlude of her talking about playing with herself, and she goes to My Knee. Like, oh God. Okay, Janet, okay. Because I knew when the speakerphone came up, my mother went, we in the car listening to it, and she like,
how did you listen to that with your mom in the car?
I was only 11.
That's the point. How could you listen?
But y'all, I'm like for real. Of course, then my father was. I was listening to Doggy Style at 7.
Okay, but that was everybody. That was playing on the back of the bus when we went to field trips.
No. We ain't talk about just like what's my name and all that. My mom and dad didn't even play the singles.
Oh, you mean your parents? I'm
Yes.
just saying, like, even if your parents didn't play it, you was gonna hear some Doggy Style. I have respect for your lady.
That's the shit. What, man?
It is.
What, man? Hearing that at like 7, of course, I had to make sure I didn't say the curse words, but it was. But it was like that. So when that came on, I'm looking because, of course, at 11, you don't know what she's doing. I'm like, what is she doing?
Again, a lot.
My mom like, you don't even know that.
There's a lot of things that I probably like got good clues from Janet on. I'm like, oh.
This album gave me a lot of clues. I was like, okay, Janet. Okay, thank you for representing the community in the right.
Which leads us to one of my favorites on the album is Rope Burn.
I was about to say, my lips
Of course you would. Why do you like Rope Burn, Elise? Explain.
I don't know, because it's nasty and you know.
Perhaps
I will not confirm or deny if that sort of thing appeals to me.
I mean, there's freak flags flying all through this album. Like, I don't know if you can hear Rope Burn and all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, that's that shit for me. Like, yeah, like I'm not into being tied up, but I'm like, I'll watch this whole shit.
And I like how casual it is. It's just like, damn it. Like, it's just like, la-di-da-di-da.
This is the genius of some Janet, because she can say all that nasty shit, but she'll say it with the baby voice so you don't realize how
Right.
I mean, she's not Millie Jackson in this shit. She's just giving you like that fluttery, feathery flute tone that she has. She's like, did she just say she wants to what? I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, tell me more.
I figured I thought you was gonna say anything, Elise, because I love anything.
Yeah, anything. I also what's my other one? I love it was right there. Well, I already told y'all I really love Free Zone. And then
you know, there's usually that part on a Janet Jackson album where like it is literally bedtime, and you like,
wait, what about?
If you would like what about?
What does that mean?
Well, there's this time I was playing playing Velvet Rope, like doing a study session in college, and I was like with these two girls from my Pan African Studies class, and What About came on, and they got just a little bit angry at me, and I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I'm just sitting here reading. But whatever some nigga did to you, now I am the target. I am the avatar, and like Janet got this whole situation fucked up for me. Like, oh.
So Janet was the first one to scream on the track.
I mean, Khalees did scream on the track, but she didn't call somebody out for like, you didn't fuck us. She only gave you head. I'm like, that's very specific. That is very specific. What's gonna be in this documentary when it comes?
This song is what I felt like. And please don't come for me for stands, but I felt like what Beyonce was trying to do with Ring the Alarm, but like failed miserably with is what she was trying to. Even if it wasn't consciously trying to copy that, but it was trying to be that, but it didn't curl over.
It didn't curl over. I get it. Oh yeah.
I don't want the smoke. I think there's room for every kind of angry chick song. So.
Oh no, I love the angry chick song, but that one just didn't. It's just one. Y'all don't come for me. It's just one song. It's just one song.
Okay, so
no, but like, but
the world didn't like it either. They had to throw Irreplaceable out fast.
Yeah, but that, if I feel like that song was going for that and going for like a Khalees kind of thing, but it just didn't hit the way it was supposed to. And I think if it would have been arranged a little different, it actually could have. But yeah.
Okay, so
there was potential. That's all she was trying to do.
Wait, who was trying to do?
No, I see what B was trying to do with the song, but it didn't quite translate in the. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, how do you feel about Janet and rock music? Because I was just listening to "Come Give Your Love to Me," and I'm like, that actually probably could have hit if it had like the right. I don't know what was entirely missing from like Janet's first two albums, except like her personality wasn't in it, and that's a major thing. Like it makes those songs sellable. But so we go from "Come Give Your Love to Me" to I don't know if there's anything on Dream Street that had the rock edge. There probably was. Control didn't have that. Rhythm Nation had Black Cat, and then
what you gonna have on Control? You Can Be Mine, right?
no, but that there's a killer solo in there. Was that Jesse Johnson? I don't know.
Yes,
but,
I think.
But like, I wouldn't consider that a rock and roll song, like the kind where
I got you, Mark.
It just has a solo that's rocking.
Like,
yeah,
rocking.
Like niggas is not gonna skip nothing on Control. All right, how about that?
Right.
But like I would skip Black Cat depending on how I felt. What'll I do? I was here for that.
I love that. Oh God, I love that. Oh yes.
Actually, I don't know. There's What'll I do? And then what happened after that? Like, What About is, I think it's the perfect kind of like Jimmy and Terry rock song with Janet, where like it had the base of like R&B to it, but like you get that thing on the like if there's a part of you that's like a headbanging chick, like then she can flail her hair like during the chorus. But
because I think all the rock stuff when it comes to What I Do, wasn't it Jelly Bean kind of did everything until What About?
Well, I think Jelly Bean did Black Cat,
and he did What I Do, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's on Velvet Rope. I think
that's what I'm saying. So after that, after all the rock edge that Janet wants, Jimmy and Terry did it because they did What About, they did Trust to Try. No, Rockwilder did that, right?
I think Rockwilder like co-produced some stuff. I don't know if that was one of his though. Let me look that up.
Okay. I think, but Janet she loves that rock like edge. She loves that, so that's why I think she has to have it in every album. Because I mean, Unbreakable, you can hear it's gonna be all right. Like,
what's that song like? Is it gonna be all right?
Yeah, that's the last one on Unbreakable.
Where my cousin at? That's okay.
Yeah, where my cousin at? Where Fifi at?
Which I know Paul Jackson Jr. isn't related, but I'm like, have they like done like a Jackson family tree so you can figure out like who the cousins are and who they aren't?
I have no idea.
Man.
I have no idea.
Okay, so again, like y'all don't have any particular structure? I don't know.
What's the question? Any particular structure for what?
To this discussion, because I'm like,
oh no, we loved it. That's why we love this, because it turns into something else. That's why we love
we
just combo.
Yeah.
Like we haven't talked about Velvet Rope.
Yes.
Go Deep, not really. And like the other thing is, like, I feel like you could do a whole separate show just on the remixes, because like the Timbaland and Missy remix. Where's this joint at?
Oh my God,
right here.
That is my it, yo. Oh my God, man.
Okay, so here's something new I found out. There was actually supposed to be a Go Deep single on cassette single, but then they canceled it. And they gave like 50 or 100 of these away at some store. I think it was FYE in New York. But for people who like, I think they had to pre-order something and they got this, but like I didn't know this thing existed. And so the only people who had it are people who had that like giveaway thing, and somebody had one for sale. I paid $50 for a cassette single, but it had like the Jam and Lewis version, the Timbaland and Missy remix, Go Deep, No Sleep, all night.
I love that. Oh, I just was talking about that on Kill's podcast when they was asking us what was our favorite like remixes, and I said that remix is one of my favorite remixes from Janet. I love that remix.
And I'm like, I don't know why there weren't remixes of everything. Like you could have been killer. And every time. All right. So you know how like I talked bad about Together Again?
Yeah.
I love the disco remix of Every Time, which is basically Together Again. Okay, this. Wait a minute. Baby, I'm old. You got to bring that up to the camera so I can see.
Oh, Together Again. It's all the remixes.
Oh, but
And
that's not
it's
the
two.
club, right? Is it, or is it the Jimmy Jam remixes as well?
Oh, it's Jimmy Jam, Extended Deep Club Mix, Jimmy Jam Deep Remix,
Okay.
DJ Premier, Just the Bass, Tony Moran, album version, another
Damn.
Tony Moran, Club Mix, and then Tony Humphries Dub Mix and Tony Humphries Club Mix.
I have to thank Jimmy Jam personally for the Extended Jimmy Jam Deep Remix, because it had that snare that I was trying to find from all the Timbaland songs isolated so you could sample it. And every other place, like it might have had a hi-hat with it. So like if you're trying to make beats, you could make it with that, or it will sound like exactly what you took it from. But I'm like, Jimmy Jam, did you just leave this snare as a gift to the world?
Right.
You, sir, are
Right.
you know what you did. That's my nigga. Look, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Did you know what bothered me too about this album period? I don't understand why it didn't sell like Janet.
I do, because Napster. We was stealing.
That's right. Napster was then? Really?
So Napster was already happening. No. I feel like I'm lying because I don't think the internet was fast enough for that yet.
Yeah, this is
So-
97.
Yeah, let me take that back. But like, all I know is like where Janet may have sold like 10 million copies and probably more since then.
Yeah.
I think Velvet Rope at the time was hovering around 3 million copies. Like
Yeah.
it was platinum, which is nothing to shake a stick at. But
Right.
they're like, oh, it wasn't as much as before. And you know how America is. Like everything has to be bigger and brighter.
Mhm.
Like that's not sustainable. Like it's an amazing product. And the question to really ask was like, if Janet wasn't selling 10 million, who was? Not nobody.
Nobody.
So like sales in general were slumping, and they wanted to be like, doing the comparison thing, like, oh, it didn't sell as much as this before. I'm like, well, the industry changes, and that's one of the things that changed.
Right.
And people didn't always take that into account. Like it didn't matter either, because if the album is really good and they don't sell it well, that's about marketing. Like you can have.
Her marketing was on point for this too, though.
I still want Justice Forgot Till It's Gone, but anyway.
Oh, agreed. I agree with that. I totally.
I'm still angry all these minutes later about Tonight's the Night. Elise, how?
Okay.
Look, okay. So let me tell you what happened, right?
Okay.
So Velvet Rope comes out in 1997. In
Right.
1998, I get super, super saved, and I sell off all my music that isn't gospel. So like I'm only listening to gospel from 1998 to 2002. So like I was there for Yolanda Adams, which is great, but like I was jonesing for like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis' sound. So like when I heard they did 3 tracks on there, I'm like, I need this album yesterday, because like all of my Janet songs, like all of my everything, like I don't know like who convinced me to like give it up, throw in the trash, sell it, whatever. But like I had posters and memorabilia, like all this stuff that I collected, I sold it. Kick myself now, but I did it for Jesus, so it's fine. But I was but I was like literally jonesing for these songs, and I could hear them in my head, like I could actually play the album in my head, like I knew it that well. But I'm like, I can't actually listen to them because it's the thing that I'm not doing. So I actually wrote a gospel song that sounded just like Tonight's the Night, but it had entirely different lyrics and melody. And if you hear it, which I might send it to you, I might not, it'll be like, wow, man, you was really trying to get sued. But like everything from like the key change on the bridge, which I thought was so genius.
Yeah.
I'll risk getting sued for this because it's so amazing. Like it makes me want to pull out a keyboard and be like, okay, you jump from here to here and then jump right back. I love how musically it actually works. But some people who will not be named, who are wearing glasses that are not yellow, didn't like it as much as other things on the album.
I don't, and it's not just like, but the other song, I'm so close to saying I just don't like it at all. But that's not. But it. I think I like the melody of it. But
well, again, it's a Rod Stewart song. It's not even like an original song.
I know that.
I didn't understand was Janet said that was her mom's favorite song. I'm like, Miss Catherine, what is you doing?
Hey,
I mean, she do got 11 kids, so maybe it's because tonight was the night.
But you know, people find a song in the most random of places, and for some reason it sticks to them, and it is no rhyme or reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have those songs that you love, and you do not understand why, because everything about it is like kind of against your whole music ethos. Like you're like, I don't know why I like it, but I like it. Leave me alone. Respect my privacy at this time. Yeah.
You know what? Another song that I was actually I wanted to hear, and I was waiting for to hear when Can't Be Stopped. And I was waiting for that because when she got the Soul Train Award in '97, and they gave her the Lifetime Achievement Award, and she said, when she did her acceptance speech, she said, on my new album, I got a song saying Can't Be Stopped. And she was talking about what the song was about. And I was like, oh, so we gonna have a new joint called Can't Be Stopped. I was like, oh, okay. And then I get all the way to the end after special plays now, and I hear nothing. I'm like, well, where the hell? And then it's just quiet for like 2 minutes, and then it comes on. I'm like, Janet, for real.
Remember when the hidden tracks? I never understood it because I hated.
I never got it.
Remember Jill did it, the hidden track on.
Well, that one was ridiculous because it was like, what, 50 times you got to hit skip or just hit backwards from one to get to Love Rain remix. I mean,
and I would do it because I do it.
Or you know how you can? Did you ever listen to Maxwell's Embryo and like rewind from track one?
No.
You know, there's a whole like interlude on there that you can only hear that way.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was track 0. It actually exists, but if you just start at track 1, you won't know. You have to start playing at track 1 and then like hit rewind to hear it.
Wow.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
I
love
love
my album right there.
Like this stuff, it was all like a treasure hunt to me. I loved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was getting kind of annoyed. I was like, Janet, I'm waiting for Can't Be Stopped. I don't see it on the track listing. I don't see anything because we had the cassette. So I'm like, and we just hearing nothing at the special, and then it finally comes on. I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
Because you were 12 and impatient.
Y'all were impatient at 30.
I'm still impatient now.
I won't nobody's 30 when that came out, sir.
The youngin' is over here trying to shame folk.
Yeah,
he went outside.
He couldn't come outside unless mom told him he could.
You right. Y'all right. Y'all absolutely right. You right.
But look, there's other stuff that didn't even make the album. Like this, yeah.
Ask for more. Yes. It had a Pepsi commercial.
And I never find that till years later. I heard about this. I love the folklore about these songs, and you couldn't find them. But did you ever hear Janet's version of The Beat of Black Wings?
No.
Okay, find it. It absolutely sounds like something that could have been on The Velvet Rope. I feel like if it...
Say it again, the name, so people catch it.
It's a Joni Mitchell song called The Beat of Black Wings.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it would have been appropriate since Big Yellow Taxi was sampled on Got Till It's Gone. Speaking of which, like, you know, I'm a huge Joni Mitchell fan. It's because of Got Till It's Gone. Because I had to follow, like, my trail back from, like, okay, so who is this chick? I've heard of Joni Mitchell. And I listened to that, I'm like, I think I love this song. So, like,
that was me too. That's how I found Joni Mitchell, was because of that. Yeah. Okay. And I became a huge, and I started digging and really getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, mom already knew she was.
And
a fan, so.
And really? You know, we're both writers, so of course a Joni Mitchell catalog would appeal to us.
Right. Because I didn't know it. I didn't know who the heck she was either. I'm like, who? My mom was like, Big Yellow Taxi. I was like, no. She's like, okay, well, when we get home, I gotta school you on this. I'm like, okay.
So literally, between Got Till It's Gone and Prince's the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, that's how I became a Joni Mitchell fan. Because when he was always singing like And it was Joni singing, "Help me, I think I'm falling." I'm like, what? Who is Joni? And what song is it a real song? And I'm like, I found it was a real song. And it's a freaking amazing song. But again, like Joni has all these songs that are super highbrow, really intelligent. Some of them are esoteric and hard to grasp. But the Beat of Black Wings had this really mechanical sound to it. And it was during the 80s when it wasn't a great period for her. Like she had a period like Stevie Wonder did in the 80s. And so she was doing a tribute. You were there, you heard it. I'm not lying anyway.
I'm just saying, just tread lightly.
I'm sorry. I don't want the smoke. But yeah, okay, so Joni had a hard time with synths and whatnot, but this song was great. And when Janet remade it, which never showed up like officially, because I don't know why like it didn't show up there. Like Shaka Khan did a version of Hajira that also didn't make the cut. I wonder why, because it's linked on the internet. You can find it on YouTube, but you can hear again like Jimmy's chord style. I don't know if it was Jimmy or Big Jim. It could have been either one, but like it very much sounds like maybe even a combination of them. It's like the best things about the Velvet Rope on a cover of a Joni Mitchell song. And like when I'm listening to the album, I want to hear that too, because sonically it just fits. It's like hearing Accept Me, and it just goes in with it.
Right. But like you said, I think since she picked Tonight Is the Night, she wasn't.
But yeah, and I guess also you don't really want to give away your publishing. Word to G, he knows.
Right.
Because like you have a whole bunch of covers on the album, like that's money you could be making. Why should you give that away?
That's true. Even though she said, I went and talked to Joni and I was like, you like it? And she's like, I love the song. I love it. Joni was like, no, I'm about to get some paper too.
You can find Joni Mitchell doing Big Yellow Taxi. I can send you the link. And it's a clip of her going, now why you want to go and do that? And it's really cute and funny. I'm like, oh, just give me a Q-tip, Jenny. Yeah. Because again, like you would have had to heard the song at that time when she was doing the concert. I just got it on DVD for Christmas, so I can actually have it in case YouTube get to tripping. But
right, okay.
But yeah, I love it so much.
So where would you put this in Janet's catalog for you, Mark?
For me, that is so hard to answer because again, like it's like trying to compare Rhythm Nation, Control, Janet, Velvet Rope, like those are the big four. Man, this is odd. All right, work with me. All right, so Control is great. Sometimes it ages well for me. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm not with it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like so it switches places a lot. But Velvet Rope is always towards the top because what it comes down to is my personal connection to some of these songs. And so when I think of like Empty and how anytime I was feeling like really depressed, I think it's been proven that like if you listen to music that has that sad feeling while you're depressed, it can help you feel better as opposed to making you feel worse. There's a lot of times where like listening to Empty was the only thing that made me feel less lonely or less isolated. Or it's like, in a sense, by hearing that, it's like, oh, someone understands this feeling of being by yourself, so I don't have to be by myself with it. The song was somebody with me. So I'm like, that's very personal. Like, I love a lot of these songs, but some of them become friends. Empty was one of those. And like, honestly, like the reason why I can't listen to Every Time is because I feel like if this song is bad luck, I want it to stay far away from me because like with the train of relationships that didn't happen, like it was hitting me extra hard when Janet was saying like, you know, every time like I fall in love, it seems to never last. I'm like, I don't want that to be my story. This is a beautiful song, but I can't be listening to this. You're gonna stress me out. I would say Velvet Rope might be number 2, only because Rhythm Nation is hard to knock out of that spot. It's really, really, really hard. Like, why would you ask me that kind of question?
I'm sorry, Mark, and I'm hearing right now. I'm sorry, because the way you just really just broke down the way you did with Empty, that is the reason why I connected this album so much, because this I'm not alone. with this.
Mhm.
That's why I felt like Janet understood everything that I felt, everything that I was feeling. And to this day, 25 years later, I still feel the exact same way about this project. And I'm like, wow. Like, and I always say that it was life-changing for me because at 11, I really felt somebody connecting to me in a way that I've never been connected before. Because I've always connected to Janet for sure. Like Rhythm Nation made me want to go to school. Like I did that. The Janet album, it was just, I felt like one of the kids. You know what I mean? Like she made you feel like one of the kids. You wanted to dance with her. You wanted to party with her. Like anytime I listen, like if I gotta go to project from Janet, it's Janet. Because you dance, you vibe, all that. When it got to Velvet Rope, it got to my inner feelings. It got to how I felt. I didn't feel alone. I felt alone at 11, like because I didn't know why. You know what I mean? I knew it was something different, but I just did not know why. So I'm hearing a lot of these songs and I'm like, Janet, yes, I feel like this, or The Special, I feel like that, or Free Zone, I get it. Like, yeah.
God.
He gonna cry when he get in the car.
So what now?
I said he gonna cry when he get in the car.
I hate her.
I'm crying now, nigga.
I hate you.
Like there's this melancholy in the melody for Velvet Rope where I'm like, I get like why that's the title song, and like whatever she's feeling is actually in the first song. I don't spend a lot of time with that song, but I identify with the feeling. That Empty, Special, it was very specific about certain kinds of sadness or isolation, alienation. I'm like, it works. Because previously, like, I would get into Lonely the same way.
Oh,
I could have sworn, like, oh, me and Janet are best friends, and she's singing Lonely just to me. Where Are You Now? I'm like, I didn't.
That's my favorite Janet song, period.
But like,
period. And thank God for Mark that I have this on vinyl, because I never forget. I was in Mexico and I was over there, and Mark was like, he texted me, was like, bruh, they about to put Velvet Rope on vinyl. I think you need to go and get this. And I was like, are you serious? I was in Mexico trying to get on the wireless, like, Ma, I gotta get this. I was like, yo, Mark was like, pre-order this shit. Like, it's coming out soon. And literally, when you and Eric at least came up to DC, I had got it the day before I met up with y'all.
Look,
for my birthday.
Yeah.
Velvet Rope on vinyl.
Somebody's son sent that to me for.
What did you put on somebody's son, Elise?
Oh Lord Jesus!
Because I happen to know you couldn't get Velvet Rope for less than like 100 or something on vinyl.
No, this is the reissue. It was on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, oh, you must have given the good because you know, Velvet Rope from somebody's son.
No, this is the reissue. This is no.
Okay, so you gotta give.
No, I had always wanted. I had always wanted it, but I never could, afford it. Well, I could have afforded it, but it didn't make sense, So
that's what it is. Like my friend that gave me this shirt, Keisha, my road dog. I gave her my Velvet Rope because I had a second copy, I think. No, or something like that. I knew I wanted to get another one, but I didn't know how I was going to get it. But like after I gave it to Keisha, the prices skyrocketed, and like finding one for sale was rare. And if you did, it wasn't in great condition. So like,
yeah, because when I would find some, they would, they'd be like good or
They had hard times.
I know one of them that I saw that I was looking for. I've been looking for this for like over 7-8 years, and it was always one that was online that they wanted to charge you like $200 for. They was like side something about. The first side is good, and then the second side is at least like the second side. That one,
that's why it's probably still up there.
It's probably still there because nobody. And I always used to go there and be like, nobody's buying this because side 2 is not even there. Like, what are you doing? Like,
and then one record store I went in, they had it, and I went in, and I was like, oh shit, and it was like mad cheap, and I was like, and then it was missing one of the.
A whole disc.
I was like, I don't want that.
Right? No.
We don't
The
do
fuck? Yeah, what the fuck I look like? What is she?
Right.
Oh my God.
Yes.
These are amazing things.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna, since we're winding on down, we're
Yes.
gonna go to my favorite part of the show.
Oh no.
Except the part of the show when I cuss a mark out. That's my favorite part of the show.
A part of the show? I thought that was the show.
I mean, this is like my favorite show. It's Catch That and Catch That Biddies.
I mean,
That's
she
the
always
best
be throwing
shows
it at
ever.
me, I gotta catch it. Anyway, your favorite part of the show.
Did you catch it? Catch it? Okay.
Right. Did you catch that? Yo, did he go off or did he go off?
Catch that, motherfucker.
You know what? Keep fucking with me and I'm gonna water your spiritual garden, all right?
Well, I am aghast. So, I'm gonna go through some Janet albums, and you tell me, and this is like gonna be in relation to what we know what was in popular culture. I want you to tell me what you feel was probably the sleeper, or like the underrated song from these albums.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And we're just gonna start with Control. What do you think is the underrated or the sleeper song on that album?
He doesn't know I'm alive.
Yeah.
You don't get Janet's high notes like that. You need to appreciate. Damn it. and Lisa Keith too. So,
Mm-hmm.
JR.
All right. The Janet album.
You know what? I'm so torn. Because I can't say One More Chance, which I just did. Oops. But like on the album proper, not the deluxe edition,
Right.
it might be. I'm going to go with Because of Love. I was torn between that and Funky Big Band, which was also in the single. But Because of Love it's such a nice melody. Like it's really like buoyant. It's ebullient. It's big ass word good.
Yeah. It's so sweet.
It's that I was just about to say it's
without
so
being
sweet.
corny. It's like
And like if you're like a miserable person, you can't enjoy that song. Like you have to like give him a good place to listen to Because of Love.
Yeah. I think it's one like I made like a little happy playlist, and that's a song that finds its way on a lot of them.
Even though it was a hit, but it's just still underrated in her catalog. Like sure.
It doesn't get the love that it could have gotten.
Right. Because she don't even perform it anymore, because she performed it on the Janet tour and that was it.
Which is, I mean, thank God for the footage, right? We wouldn't have a video. But anyway.
Okay, and even though we just talked about Velvet Road, what do you think that song is for Velvet Road? That was.
I'd like you to answer for me, Elise.
That besides Got To Us Going, because I know you feel like it didn't get.
Oh yeah, that
we talked about that. Yeah.
It would have definitely been Tonight's the Night.
Okay.
Cute. Did you just cute my? You just don't quit, do you? You gonna stop coming for my song?
Can't stop, won't stop. But
I know you won't. It's fine. Thank you for thinking about it though, like for a hot second.
All right. How about All For You?
Oh, please say my song. I hope he says it.
It's free. No, I'm. You said underrated?
Yeah.
Underrated or underappreciated, or like kind of the sleeper track, the one.
I think Just a Try. And it's all about the intro.
Really? So you think Trust to Try is?
Yeah, because I'm like, first of all, how did you enunciate that? Like, did they record it slow and then play it fast? Because she was Busta Rhymes in that whole verse. But anyway.
Wow, I thought you was gonna actually say "Feel So Right."
Okay, I could go with that.
Right.
This is word association. I'm answering for him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I asked what he thought.
Right. Right, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
All right. One more. Demita Joe.
I'm so glad you answered.
I'm so glad you went here, Elise. You are the best. Wait a minute, it's not about me again. Let me shut up.
I feel like we should get JR's answers too, because like he would have things to say. But for Demita Joe, it's moist.
You freak.
With all the siblings. You tickling it? Yes, I am. You're gonna get it? Yes. Damn.
Yeah.
Please talk your shit to me, Janet. And I can answer.
Yeah, I love that song.
Musically,
I do
it's
too.
beautiful. It's got all those things about like it's like I don't know if it actually samples Curtis Mayfield's "Give Me Your Love," but it has that vibe to it without like biting entirely. It's a beautiful song, and I'm a damn freak sometimes. I don't have a problem with the word moist. I'm pro moist.
Me neither. Some people are weird about that word. They don't bother me.
Yeah.
Look, I think of moist, and I think of Betty Crocker commercials from the 80s where you saw the cake breaking open. It was like moist. You wanted moist, and now they're just kind of like, ew, it's moist. I'm like, see, you wasn't outside.
Mm-hmm. See, you're nasty. Yeah. Was that the end? Yeah.
No.
No.
It's been 2 hours now. 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I was really doing the terror tweet. I'm sorry.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you, Mark, as always, with your ethnomusicologist ass to come and
to talk about this great
talk
album,
your shit and to really educate the folks. I learned a lot from you today.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your attempt at being nice to me. I appreciate all of your attempts.
Yes.
Don't give up. One day you're going to get it.
Yeah. But how about you let the folks know what your regular ass is up to? Do you have anything coming up or, anything interesting in the pipeline?
My raggedy ass is already signed up for a whole bunch of albums to write up on Albumism this year. Most of them are going to be second half because I want to kind of get ready for it beforehand. So I specifically set them up, but I am looking forward to writing about Alexander O'Neal's Hearsay this year.
Oh, what show did you talk about that on in depth? It was a really good show.
Yeah. Oh, some show you probably never heard.
With the really pretty girl and the goofy dude.
You mean the goofy girl and the pretty dude? Because I have been known to be. This isn't about me? Okay.
I go with my ass.
She came for me and I ain't come for her at all.
He's been sweet mostly. Except for that one little incident earlier. But
what incident we had earlier? Oh, what I gotta prove? Oh, okay, you're right.
I don't know why JR be catching strays. He don't really do nothing.
I catch strays, yo. I don't be saying nothing. That be all her.
Anyway, Elise, I'm a nice person. I don't deserve this. But yes, I'll be continuing to write for Albumism, which I love, and hopefully there'll be some interviews or whatnot, but we'll see what happens. Also, I want to actually start doing more writing on my own blog on Medium. So it's going to be medium.com/@MarkChappelle, MarkChappelle. Then as usual, I'm always saying something about music on Twitter, @MarkChappelle, @MarkChappelle. And I care so little about Instagram, but I'm on there.
Yeah.
Mark is a nice person because why? Because I'm a nice person. Some people refuse to acknowledge this, but I'm not naming those people. I'm not naming them at all. Am I, Elise? Am I, Sunshine?
That people gonna laugh at this whole episode because of y'all.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. I was just talking about Janet.
Shit. And once you at least said tonight is the night you got pissed.
No, I'm zen. I'm fine. My spiritual garden is watered.
about to drown you in your spiritual garbage.
How empty of you. Anyway.
Oh God. Oh,
Nah,
God.
but yes, definitely check him out. With his album is like article man.
Listen.
He's such a researcher. He's such a great interpreter of those technical things of making it plain, and I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do like me after all. Thank you.
Yeah, I do.
I won't tell nobody.
No one,
Hey,
I
at least
do. Nobody's
like me.
perfect.
Oh shit.
But nah. And we appreciate everybody for watching and you know, thank you if you hug on to the end because this is a long one and we don't care. I'm not cutting nothing. So we
Nothing.
will catch y'all on the next catch that. Is that the end?
No.